this Monday, we shall be talking about the strategy to end tuberculosis in Nigeria.
Joining us at this time for this discussion, we have the Director of Programs, Association for Reproductive and Family Health, Abuja, and Principal Global Fund recipient for TB control in Nigeria, Kehinde Oshinawo. Good to have you here with us.
Good morning, viewers.
Also joining us is a Program Medical Officer, National Tuberculosis, Leprosy, and Borrelii Ulcer Control Program, Federal Ministry of Health, Abuja, Dr. Simeon Onyemechi. Good to have you here, Dr. Simeon. Welcome.
Right. Let's start by talking about tuberculosis and what that condition or disease really means. What is tuberculosis? And of course, I understand that there's many types of tuberculosis. Can you put us through that?
Thank you very much, viewers at home. It's indeed my pleasure to be here this morning. Tuberculosis is a chronic infectious disease, and because it is a chronic infectious disease, it constitutes a major public health problem in Nigeria. Unfortunately, the kind of attention that we have given to TB prevention is not sufficient enough. All of us were witnesses to the period of Ebola crisis. The kind of attention that was placed on it was very rapid, was very sharp, and was very forceful. I think at this point, because tuberculosis is a disease that can be transmitted within the community, it becomes very, very important. It is caused by a bacilli called Mycobacterium tuberculosis complex. This bacteria is able to transmit when a person is infected with TB, about 10 or 15 people around that individual can be infected within the year. And because it's a droplet infection, it is highly contagious. It can be spread widely, and therefore it requires that an urgent attention must be placed in the prevention of TB.
All right, we'll come to Dr. Onyemechi in a short bit, but let's just quickly take this report. It's on TB and the latest that the government has done so far on the matter.
Nigeria has the highest burden of tuberculosis in Africa and fourth in the world. In 2015, there were an estimated 519,000 TB cases in the country, out of which only 90,000 were identified and treated, not because of lack of treatment or facilities, but the lack of awareness on what the symptoms and preventions are.
Globally, we have 3 million missing cases. And if we do not get this case, we cannot control TB. And out of these 3 million missing TB cases, 500 of them are in Nigeria. Major problem is, where are the missing cases? The prevalence survey that was recently carried out shows that the missing cases are in the community, spreading the disease without knowing that they have TB.
Tuberculosis remains the 10th leading cause of death worldwide, with an estimated 10.4 million new cases in 2015 alone. This Abuja meeting of public health experts seeks to bridge the gap in TB treatment and raise awareness on preventive measures.
In 2016, Nigeria notified less than 20% of the total TB cases estimated for that year. Therefore, more than 80% TB cases in the country are undetected, implying that there are a lot of undiagnosed TB cases in the community which serve as reservoir for continued transmission of TB.
It means in Nigeria there is a potential that on annual basis we are infecting 5 million persons with tuberculosis. This is shameful, this is sad, because this is a disease that the diagnosis is free, the treatment is free, and it's a curable disease. At this era, we shouldn't be talking about an individual dying from tuberculosis.
Nigeria is currently able to detect 90,000 cases, equating to about 20%, as against the World Health Organization recommendation of detecting and treating 90% of all tuberculosis cases.
All right, there you have it, that report. about 5 million potential infections on an annual basis in Nigeria, and emphasis on prevention. But Dr. Onyemachi, what has been the biggest challenge that the fight against TB is facing in Nigeria at the moment?
Thank you very much, and good morning, Nigerians. Tuberculosis fight in Nigeria, if it succeeds, will ensure that a big blow is dealt to the scourge of tuberculosis globally. Of course, as we saw in that report, Nigeria getting it right, according to WHO, in addition to 5 other countries which make up 60%, means that the world will definitely get it right. However, a lot of challenges have stood in the way of us getting it right. First on the pack is essentially the low level of awareness. People are not aware of TB. A lot of noise has been made about HIV, a lot of noise has been made about malaria. Everybody on the streets is aware of malaria, everybody is aware of HIV. However, it may surprise you to note that in the year 2015, the amount of deaths that accrued to TB is about 1.8 million, and this is more than the total number of deaths that HIV and malaria accounted for. However, attention is not given to it. We have a low level of awareness as a major challenge, not just among those who should not know. I mean, saying those who should not know, implying people on the street, among healthcare workers, and that is even very threatening because there is low index of suspicion, especially among the childhood group. Now, Nigeria happens to be one of the countries where you have that TB cases is detected more between the age range 5 to 14 years compared to 0 to 4. That tells you that. And because, like Mrs. Oshinowo had said earlier, that we have a country where a lot of TB cases are ongoing, about 1 million children are missed. If it's a chronic infection, like she rightly pointed out, it means that at an early stage people would have had TB. However, we don't get to detect them within that age bracket of 0 to 4. We detect most of them between 5 to 14. And even that amount is very low because we have 92% of our childhood TB cases undetected. So the low level of awareness is key. And then the issues of people seeking healthcare where it is not, where the solution is not, is a very big challenge. Someone is coughing for 2 weeks or more, someone has fever, someone is losing weight, someone is losing appetite. But then the much we can do is to go to patent medicine vendors. Now, at that level, people are also sometimes more interested in money making. Some of these people who we have advocated to and are stakeholders in the TB control program may not want to easily let go. This is a Nigerian problem as far as we are concerned.
How do you mean they may not want to easily let go?
People, for pecuniary reasons. So many people understand the fact that, yes, this person has come to me with a history of cough for 2 weeks or more, is losing weight. Everything points to the fact that this person has got tuberculosis. But then that willingness to say, please go to the nearest health center where tuberculosis treatment, diagnosis, and everything about tuberculosis is rendered free of charge. But for the fact that there is no monetary attachment to it, some people are not willing to refer cases, to go to the places where they are supposed to get help. Because we have ensured in our strategies that there are drugs facilities spread across the country, over about 6,000 of them. And then the target is that within any 5-kilometer radius, we should have saturation of drug facilities. And in our drive, we have made a lot of progress in that light. However, that unwillingness to refer patients, but we also believe that if people get aware, if a lot of noise is made about tuberculosis, just like we are doing now, people will get to know. And then when you have cough, when I have cough, I know, oh, it may be tuberculosis. And then I seek help because it is free.
Now, how do we prevent tuberculosis in the first place? Just tell us a bit about the causes of tuberculosis. We used to talk about the fact that it's a bacterial infection, but does it have to do with exposure to certain environmental conditions? What exactly leads to the bacterial effect?
In the first instance, a person that is infected can transmit the disease to other people. And so if that person that is infected is not aware that it's infected, the infection will continue to spread within the community. And like I rightly mentioned in the beginning of my introduction to this discussion, a person that is infected that does not know can transmit it to the members of his household.
Well, how does that person become infected? Is it as a result of lifestyle? What are those factors that could lead to that bacterial infection?
Well, let me quickly say at this point in time that almost everybody is at risk of HIV, of TB, beg your pardon. And because some people have it at the latent stage, such that you and I might be carrying the bacilli, and because we have very good immunity, we can curtail it within ourselves. But those people with low immunity would develop into the TB disease, and when they cough, when they sneeze, when they talk, being in a gathering like this, people can transmit the disease. Let me also quickly say that if we are, for example, let us look at the number of planes that leave Abuja to other places. A person with TB in that plane, especially if it is drug-resistant TB, can infect other people. And therefore, because it is a droplet infection, as I sneeze, so many of the tobacco will be transmitted. And within the, when a person coughs, for example, that person is able to transmit about 3,000 of that.
So it can be airborne.
It is airborne. And therefore, it becomes a major problem because we all need to breathe the air. And if the bacilli can transmit in the air, then it means we are all at so much risk of contacting TB disease. And that is why we should just not take this issue with levity. Awareness about the program is not sufficient. Let us use the approach that we used during the Ebola crisis, and then we will have many people living elderly. There are so many conditions in Nigeria that can make people to be at risk of TB. Look at the level of insurgencies, many IDP camps. A person within the IDP camps, or so many people with TB, will spread virtually to all the members of the camp. Look at prisons. Because of the condition of our prisons in Nigeria, the TB can be spread in the camp, in the prison yard. And it is very important for us to note that so many Nigerians are poor. And in an environment where about 10 people are living together in just one single room, any person becoming infected will infect everybody. Every child in that environment becomes so much at risk. And we know that TB, as it is an ancient disease, is still highly socially stigmatized. So when people know that they have been coughing for 2 weeks, they don't want to go because they don't want to be told that they are likely to be infected with TB. And because of that, the spread continues. Like you rightly mentioned, they go to the chemist shop and they give them just any medication. Whereas there should be an international standard of treatment and care of TB.
How do we entrench this international standard in Nigeria? Just recently, the Minister of Health commissioned what they call the gene expert machine. Now, how available are these machines in the hospitals?
Thank you. In Nigeria, as we speak, we have keyed into the NTB strategy of the World Health Organization, which was launched in 2014. As a matter of fact, last year, the Honorable Minister of Health adopted that strategy, and then this year, 2017, has been declared our year of accelerating TB case finding. Now, what are the strategies we are put in place to ensure that truly we can accelerate TB case finding? Is it just enough to make the noise and then I'm coughing and then I know I'm supposed to go to a health center and I get there, the services are not there? Now, a major key intervention is to ensure that there is a functional commodity system. Now, if we build that and then we saturate the health facilities with all of the equipment we need, like you rightly mentioned, the gene expert machine. It is a rapid diagnostic tool. a molecular-based tool. Before now, people had moved to, you have cough, you get to the facility. After you are educated, you are told to produce 3 sputums, one immediately, that's on the spot, in the morning, the next day, and then when you present again at the health center. Innovative researchers went in and realized that with 2 sputum samples, we could reduce that time. And then we started doing spots and then early morning. And within 48 hours, you have your results. But currently, the world has even gone beyond that. So we are talking about the expert technology because we realize so many people, between the point of producing sputum and initiation to treatment, they are lost to follow up. So with the gene expert technology, you have diagnosis of tuberculosis done within 2 hours. Because in 100 minutes, you have your result. However, your question is how readily available is this?
Yes.
In the FCT alone, we have 11. Across the country, the last count, we have functional gene expert machines, 318 of them across the country. And then our target is that for every 500,000 population, not by WHO, that you should have 1 gene expert machine serving that population. And for us, we have 218 as at the end of December 2016. And we are aware that so far this year, we have just installed extra about 50 to 80 gene expert machines, such that by the end of this quarter, that's by March 31st, 2017, I beg your pardon, when we take our stock, we should be doing over 400 machines. But suffice it to say that currently we have about 318 that is verifiable and functional. And these are evenly spread because mappings were done before these machines were deployed. We don't just go out and then begin to install gene expert machines. No, target populations are actually taken into consideration. Based on data we have, we ensure that equity is taken care of in the distribution.
Are the target population responding to these offers for tests? Are they coming out to get tested through using these gene expert machines?
Yes, of course, people are coming out to get tested. However, a lot more needs to be done. And for us to achieve that, we are not dwelling on just the problems. We have identified them because that's our job, to control TB in Nigeria and ensure that Nigeria is free of TB. But because we know that if we do not clear the pool of tuberculosis patients we have, if we continue to have undiagnosed TB cases, new ongoing transmission will be occurring. And then in the report you showed, 5 million new cases is the risk that we have. The only offense you commit to get infected with tuberculosis is the fact you're breathing. Because TB anywhere is TB everywhere. So for us, we have moved out. Instead of staying in the healthcare centers to expect patients to come passively and then get tested, we have gone out in collaboration with community-based organizations. We create awareness, and through active case searches, we go into slums, we go into different congregate settings to ensure that people are screened without them coming to the health centers, because we realize it has worked elsewhere and it is giving us results in Nigeria.
So are all these machines purchased by the federal government? The 400 and I'm asking, just 18 machines, were they purchased by the federal government?
There is no single country in the world that fights tuberculosis alone. It is a collaborative effort. Bilateral agencies, multilateral agencies, Nigeria government purchases some, and then our donor agencies purchase some. It is a whole mixed approach. You cannot fight tuberculosis alone. All hands must be on deck.
I think the point to that question has to be, is the Nigerian government, we are going through a budgeting process now in the National Assembly. Mr. Shinawa talked about the fact that we are not giving the kind of push and forcefulness like we should have done, like we've done in the case of the Ebola. Without proper budgeting, or without the government seeing it as a priority health concern, they can't give the right kind of budgeting, and we're left depending on donor agencies outside to continue supporting the bulk of it. So what lapses are still there? What deficiencies do we still have in terms of budgeting and funding to deal with this very serious health concern?
Yes, for us, it will be uncharitable to say that we have enough funding for tuberculosis. We have done a lot, but yet a lot more still needs to be done. And we must say this. Before now, we have not. We have had political commitments, but then greater commitment is needed, which is currently being demonstrated. The fact that we had a WorldTBday celebration which did not end up with the normal go to a place, we give talk shows, create awareness within a small setting. Means a lot. This year we have gone out across the whole country to do road shows. We have engaged different stakeholders. Interministerial meetings were held to ensure that different desk offices are established. The way you have HIV desk offices in different parastatals and agencies of government, for the first time we are stepping out of our comfort zone to ensure that this awareness is created. Desk offices are set up in different parastatals and agencies of government. There is an assigned desk officer to ensure that TB sensitization is going on. This is a bold initiative towards our accelerating TB case finding. But of course, with more funding, a lot more will be achieved. So definitely committing more resources will help us to build capacity of healthcare workers, will help us to integrate public-private partnerships, and what have you. With more resources, indeed, a lot more can be achieved beyond what we are doing.
So the good news is tuberculosis has a cure and can, of course, is treatable. Tell us about the how readily available are these drugs, and of course, what is the implication of skipping medication for those who are infected with tuberculosis?
Thank you very much. Let me quickly take it from where it starts. I must say that we still require a lot of bold policies. We still require a lot of financial commitment by the government of Nigeria. And suffice to note that most of the funding that is being channeled into TB prevention for now is being supported by the donors, largely supported by the donors. For example, I know that the Global Fund and other partners like USAID are responsible for providing all the drugs that we use in the country. I know the government has been complementing, but the complementarity from the government is still not sufficient. For example, we all know that those donor funding are dwindling for now. Not enough is being, for example, on the Global Fund grant, is supporting so much of intensive activities in 22+1 states, although drugs are provided in all the states. I think the government of Nigeria still needs to give so much of good support. Thank God we have a very good Minister for Health, Professor Adewale, who is very dynamic and is launching out to the state government such that they are able to provide the resources that is required. There is large shortage of human resource. For example, we have been mobilizing on the active case search, and you find out that cases are sent to the laboratory. There are not enough laboratory officials to be able to test those sputum that we send to the lab. Some of them, because of their inability to cope, for example, you have just one, in some places you have two, and they are not sufficient to be able to deal with that issue. Human resource capacity is still so much required in Nigeria. The government has to pay its counterpart funding. The funding that the donors are providing are gap-filling funding. So there are still a lot of missing cases. When a patient comes to the clinic and is not attended to, what will happen? They get discouraged. They go to other alternative outlets like churches, going to chemists, going to traditionalists. And those things cannot take us to where we want to be, because we now have a lot of drug-resistant TB in Nigeria, and that one is so bad. Let me use it in a language that the community and members of the public will understand. A person that has drug-resistant TB will transmit the drug-resistant TB, and it poses a lot of morbidity and mortality to Nigerians. The issue of HIV is also another major challenge, because most people who are HIV positive usually die as a result of complication of TB. So we need to improve on our TB-HIV collaborative activities. A lot still needs to be done. Government at state level, government at local government must put resources forward to be able to treat TB. I'm just wondering when the situation that the donors will be supporting Nigeria, I will be able to rise up to the occasion.
That's indeed a scary thought, because we are on some of these international aid, and we wonder what that countries like Nigeria, an oil-dependent country, and medical aids will be wondering about. But we'll come back to our guest in a short bit. It's almost top of the hour, time for us to go to the news desk for Pan Africa War.
Oshino, just before we went on that break, we're talking about the dwindling international support and, of course, the looming crisis perhaps in the health sector. What does this portend as far as funding for the health sector is concerned?
Thank you. The looming crisis is your words. For us, there is already crisis in our hands. Because tuberculosis, like I said earlier on, kills more than HIV currently. From 2015, tuberculosis overtook it. And I had said earlier that the offense you commit to become infected with tuberculosis is the fact that you are breathing. 1/3 of the world population has tuberculosis. And they have a lifetime risk among this infected group of 10%. So if currently we are saying over 2.5 billion persons are infected with tuberculosis, and we have 10% risk, that means 250 million persons who are currently alive run the risk of becoming TB patients, developing TB disease from their latent infection. So it's already a crisis with us. So having said that, the need for funding cannot be overemphasized. The need for funding cannot be overemphasized. In the NTB strategies that we are currently working with, we have 3 pillars, which include integrated patient care and prevention, board policies and systems, as well as intensified research and innovation. So when you have that key pillar, which says board policies and health systems, it means that running TB as a parent program will not take us anywhere. We have to get to a point where TB is entrenched into the existing health system, such that every healthcare worker talks TB. Anybody who is around knows TB is a risk, and then is willing to actually screen for tuberculosis and get them linked up to free care.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Somebody wanted to find out how we can be talking about eradication of TB without improvement in public health sanitary conditions. I think that question speaks for itself indeed. Thank you so much for being here. That's Ikechukwu Kalu. Acknowledge your tweet. Dr. Simeon Oyemachi is a Program Medical Officer, National Tuberculosis, Leprosy and Borderline Ulcer Control Program, Federal Ministry of Health, Abuja, was joined by Kendo Shinowo, Director of Programs, Association for Reproductive and Family Health, Abuja, and Principal Global Fund recipient for TB control in Nigeria. Thank you so much.
Thank you.